Today we're going to be looking at the downfall of Onision. That is right, the satisfying downfall of Onision, a matter of fact, by Internet Anarchist. We know that I am a big fan of Internet Anarchist. I'm going to give him a big old subscribe because I know that his video is probably going to be a banger. Now, this released not too long ago, and I'm excited to get into it. I don't know much about Onision, so I've heard that he's been in drama a bunch before in the past, so I'm ready to just like bounce right onto that booty.
The downfall of YouTubers like Jake Doolittle or Brad Taste in Music, while deserved, carry a hint of sadness, like watching someone trip over their own ego and greed. But when it comes to Onision, there's no room for sympathy. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be examining the satisfying downfall of Onision, a man who's often regarded as the most evil YouTuber ever, and not without a reason. From abusing his partner's—
Bro, okay. Most evil ever? That's wild. I'm pretty sure there's been YouTube murderers. Now, I'm going to let this play, and I'm going to look up to see if there's been, how many YouTube murderers there's been.
To the point of giving them PTSD, to chasing cupcakes. There's enough dirt on Onision that I can make a—
Okay, chasing cupcakes is pretty bad. Now, if you don't understand the context of that, there was this YouTuber named EDP445. He was caught by, like, Alex Goldstein, I think his name is. He's a PDF catcher, and he catches him. He's like, no, I was just going to get cupcakes. So it is a euphemism, in case you guys don't know, in case you're not like internet brain rotted or just don't understand the words here out on the streets of YouTube.
Feature-length movie and still not have enough time to cover everything. However, where other YouTubers would disappear after receiving this much hate, Onision is still desperately trying to stay relevant. He is doing everything in his power to make a comeback. But, as you'll see later, his luck has finally run dry. And to fully understand Onision's horrible actions and eventual downfall, we have to start from the very beginning. Gregory James—
Alright. I pulled it up. Hold on. Alright, right here. Let's see. I knew there was YouTubers who were murderers, so I have to look into it. We got Elliot Roger, 22, I know he murdered somebody, but we got Trey Sessler, okay. We got Samantha Wolford, she killed somebody, she murdered somebody. Randy Stair definitely murdered some people, that's pretty crazy. This dude looks like, he looks like he was about to murder somebody. He looks like, fuck, dude, he looks like a combination of, like, a mafia dude with like Christopher Walken. He's like, oh, I'm gonna stab you in the face with a soldering iron. You think that I'm not gonna fucking kill you just because I'm a fucking YouTuber? This guy definitely wants to mess up some buttholes. Jesus, bro. She murdered somebody? Huh. Okay, we got Anthony Powell. Steve McCulgan, I don't know who. Jake Davison. Some of these last two look familiar. These are the only two that look familiar to me. Oh shit. Oh my god, bro. 5 people under name Professor Waffle. Dude, he was one of those incel nihilist guys, bro. Those guys are wild. But yeah, so there's been YouTube murderers. So, this guy's bad, and anybody who's a PDF file, definitely is bad in the worst. But there are murderers who have been on the platform.
James Daniel, aka—
I mean, Joe Rogan had that one fucking guy that ended up leaving his podcast and then just fucking offing somebody.
Onision started making videos on the internet before YouTube was even a thing. He had his own website called Mr. Odd, which he used to share his comedy sketches with the world.
My car. VHX.com lets you design a car online. Coupe or a sedan? Coupe.
And just a year after YouTube's launch, he jumped over to the new platform and continued making similar sketches for a brand new audience. However—
Bro, it's so crazy that, like, cause I'm like 472 years old, right? So I remember before the internet, I remember dial-up, I remember the fucking abacus, right? But still thinking about how like that when YouTube launched was almost 20 years ago is fucking insane.
He didn't see much success until September of 2009, when he posted a video simply titled Banana Song.
You're a what? I'm a banana! What happened to your clothes? I'm a banana! I'm a banana! I'm a banana!
This instantly went viral across the internet, amassing 95 million views to date, and becoming a cultural phenomenon at the time. Similar to how the Harlem Shake became a trend a few years later. From there, Onision started seeing 1 million+ views on every video he uploaded, which was considered a massive achievement at the time. And in order to fully capitalize on this popularity, he started diversifying his content, going from just skits and songs to including vlogs about himself and his relationships. He also launched multiple other successful channels, resulting in him gaining over 350 million views combined across YouTube. However,
damn, bro. To put that into perspective, I know I'm still a small YouTuber, but like, let's see if I can find it. I don't know how to find it on the main page. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We'll do this. I mean, I've been on the platform for a couple years now. Not really crazy, but I have my whole channel view thing is 313,000, right? So that's that's like quite a few zeros less, dude. A matter of fact, 3 zeros less than that, bro. I have a long way to go to hit the power of the giggity schmoodle land, bro. I have dude, like, fuck, dude, these guys fuck up their careers so bad.
As his popularity soared, so did the amount of questionable content he started posting, like making over 20 videos mocking a girl suffering from an extreme eating disorder.
To prove to you guys that I do eat.
And if that's what
the Eugenia Cooney looks fucking beat, bro. She'll like gain weight and then she'll go back to like, I don't know if you guys have seen Eugenia Cooney. I know I probably shouldn't be making fun of her. This is my thing. I don't care about making fun of people on the internet. I think we've kind of gotten soft in that regard. It's like, oh well, I'm bullying. Shut the fuck up, dude. Nobody cares. But she looks like she's like right out of death right now, dude. When was this taken? Let me see if I can find 2025, because she looks bad, bro. I saw her on TikTok when I saw TikTok, and I was like, damn, bro, she looks fucking like, that's Eugenia Cooney right now, bro. Like, we'll blow this up real quick. I'll fucking zoom this up. That's Eugenia Cooney right now. Like, she like had the problem before, but like, fuck, dude, she's like in such bad shape right now. She was like always skinny before, and she had an eating disorder, but it's gotten to the point now where she looks like a skeleton with skin stretched across it, bro. Like, it is rough. This is rough, dude. Like, this is, definitely needs to go and, get some fucking, like, professional help, bro. I mean, her whole channel's, like, her dancing to TikToks and stuff. TikTok dances and stuff, and that's what she looks like. Dude, she needs to, like, get some fucking food in that body, bro. She needs to do the opposite of the Lizzo, dude. Because Lizzo's losing weight, she needs to gain massive amounts.
Wasn't bad enough, he also created a series where he rated the attractiveness of his often underaged fans.
Yeah, this girl's like a 9.4, super attractive.
In these videos, he insulted girls he didn't find attractive.
She's like 7 feet tall, and she has that horse teeth condition. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. It's not pleasant. So, you know, sometimes pictures are misleading.
Even worse, when he showed interest in a girl, his comments crossed a line into deeply inappropriate territory.
Another person who didn't put that much of themselves in the photo, but for their age, they're a pretty solid 9. Let's hope it doesn't all go to waste when they grow up.
And while we can see the sheer creepiness in his content today, many of his fans weren't aware of it back then. Like this one person who wrote, "It's so sad that I never realized how f***ed up these videos were when I was younger." Another person even admitted to submitting their own pictures in the past, which raises the question of why. Why would these girls willingly send pictures of themselves to a weirdo? Well, they didn't see him as creepy. To them, Onision was a popular YouTuber, someone they admired. They were looking for validation, and he exploited that vulnerability for his own gain.
Bro looks like that serial killer that dresses up like his mom. Not gonna lie, that's the vibes Onision gives off. Like I think it was like the Insidious movies, the second one, where it was like the dude dressed as the witch or whatever. That's the type of vibes I get. Where his mom made him dress like a woman his whole life, and then he like held up this aggression, so he keeps his mom's head on a fucking like lamp or some shit.
That's not to say everyone loved this degrading content. Many viewers actually called him out. However, instead of apologizing or fixing his behavior, Onision almost always doubled down while projecting the idea of him being in the right. For instance, when some of his fans questioned his intentions behind these rating videos, Onision presented himself as nothing more than a brutally honest person, someone who had the guts to say what others were too afraid to say. And sadly, this act worked for the vast majority of his viewers, who idolized his quote honesty, and overlooked the many problematic aspects of his content. But as these fans would find out years later,
I mean, gonna be 100% real, mad fucking weird to rate your underage fans. Just fucking mad weird. I mean, like, but brutal honesty I have no problem with. And that's something that's like a lot of people like go after Leafy and shit because he used to make fun of everybody, but like he made fun of everybody. That's fine, and I have no problem with like making fun of people. And it's weird. The weird thing about his was he was rating them on attractiveness, which inherently is like a fucking I would fuck you type thing, which is a little fucking sus, dude. If it was just like if the premise was I make fun of my fans' appearances, and he made fun of everybody and didn't talk about like how much or like how attractive they were, I think it would be a whole different type of story, and I would actually probably give like Onision some credit in that regard. But the main issue is he's fucking talking about banging like these 12-year-olds.
These videos were never about telling the truth or being honest. Instead, they were a way for Onision to fulfill his sick, perverse desires. And despite the occasional backlash, Onision managed to maintain a relatively positive online presence for the next several years. And it wasn't until 2019 when the first domino fell, signaling the beginning of his downfall. In September 2019, a girl named Sarah came forward accusing Onision of and abusing her for years. Sarah first started watching Onision videos when she was just 12 years old. By 13, she was already interacting with him and his then partner Lainey, who now goes by Kai online.
How old were you when you first started tweeting Onision and Onision's at the time wife, Lainey?
When I started tweeting them, I was 13.
Kai and Onision kept talking to her over the next couple of years, but as time went on, their conversations started becoming more and more inappropriate, with Kai even sending explicit pictures to Sarah.
Were there ever any inappropriate text messages sent from Kai, who again is Onision's partner, to you?
Yeah, we would make like jokes to each other. We would joke about like we would, make jokes about us being together, but he would send me like pictures of like him without the top on.
In one tweet, Kai even commented how he was quote her nicely. During this time, Sarah started having trouble at home. Kai and Onision saw this as the golden opportunity and invited her to live with the two of them. And while she was reluctant at first, she eventually agreed. This turned out to be the biggest mistake of Sarah's life. Unfortunately, she had no other choice. What made the situation even more heartbreaking was that after Sarah decided to move in with Onision and Kai, her mother willingly signed away the legal guardianship of her teenage daughter to these two strangers.
Bro, what the fuck? Like, so here's what I think is weird. Like, you got a 16-year-old kid who, you should be taking care of. Her parents, like, obviously fucking suck because they were like, oh yeah, we'll just sign your rights away so you can live with two fucking random stranger YouTubers. Like, that's just fucking weird to me. It's just, like, one, gross on the YouTubers, two, gross on the parents.
Your mom knew that you were going to do this?
Yes.
And that was okay with her?
Yeah, she was like, oh, okay, you're just gonna go live out there. She gave me money every month to pay for whatever I needed. But she signed over power of attorney to Kai, and I lived with them.
I mean, what kind of fucking weird ass mom would be like, oh yeah, I'll just sign over a power of attorney of my child that I'm supposed to be fucking protecting. I'll send money and shit. At least I'll be able to get I'll be able to slot my own vagina with my my favorite dildo in the living room now because my kid won't be home. What the fuck? What the fuck kind of parent are you?
Which just goes to show how bad things were for Sarah at home. However, they were about to get much worse. In Sarah's words, the couple treated her, quote, like a toy during her stay. During this time, Onision also
at this point, even our grandma.
Bro, they just wanted, they wanted a fucking, like, weird... God, dude, what's with these fucking YouTubers? Like, I'm just gonna get myself a child and have them be a sit-in-my-house toy. What the fuck?
Started featuring Sarah in his videos. This made some viewers concerned for her safety, leading to them questioning his relationship with her. Sarah addressed these rumors in a video, claiming that Onision hasn't done anything inappropriate to her.
People are saying that we had sexual conversations or were planning on having sexual relations when I was underage, and we never did. I don't know why people are now saying this and bringing up old screenshots that have already been addressed.
But as she later revealed, she didn't make that video by choice. Onision practically forced her to do it.
And I know that in the video that he posted online, I basically was like, oh, nothing is going on, guys. But he wanted me to make that video, and he like really pressured me into making it, and I really didn't want to.
He even gave her a script with specific instructions on what to say, all to cover up his actions.
I know that we use you for Tickle Time Tuesdays, but listen, you can't tell the internet we use them for Tickle Time Tuesdays because I have 350 million views to protect. And because I want you to protect these 350 million views, I just want you to say whatever the fuck I tell you to say. Otherwise, you get the stick, you stupid...
And unfortunately, this wasn't even close to the worst thing he did, because not long after her 18th birthday, both Onision and Kai started a physical relationship with her. Now, some might argue that this is technically legal, granted, but was it also highly unethical, immoral, and the textbook definition of
Yes, it was all those things. It was 100% all those things. They were fucking prepping this girl to be their sex puppet, which is super fucking weird and cringe.
Also, yes. Fortunately for Sarah, the public's reaction to her confession was highly supportive, and one reply captured the general sentiment perfectly. So what I'm gathering from this, they both you, had sex with you 5 months after your 18th birthday, and then continued to use and abuse your trust until they decided they were finished. They are total pieces of shit. To which another person responded with a tweet stating, not to mention lying about everything on the Onision YouTube channel and gaslighting their audience to believe we were crazy for even thinking that grooming could be a possibility. Despite the overwhelming backlash, Onision and Kai...
Bro, this is like the definition. They fucking found a kid and they like convinced the parents, listen, you want to send the Reds away, don't you? And the parent was like, think about the fun you could have without a child. And then the parent was like, yeah. Well, like, so the parent deserves to be gulagged. These fuckers deserve to be gulagged. Gulags for all. Lots and lots of gulags. Jesus Christ.
Tried to deny everything. Kai even made a video dismissing Sarah's claims, even though there's plenty of evidence showing the truth.
Said that something has happened with her, or I did something with her, or I cuddled in bed with her, that none of that has ever happened. Never.
However, Sarah's confession was a wake-up call for everyone who had turned a blind eye to Onision's creepy antics over the year. The floodgates were now open, and despite Onision's efforts to hide his vile actions, there was nothing he could do to stop the wave of accusations coming his way. Over the next few days, a total of 6 victims of Onision came forward with—
Jesus Christ. It's always just a giant flood of victims, bro. Once the door opens, bro, it's just like, how many victims can we pile on, dude? This is wild.
their own stories, each worse than—
The funny thing is, I just covered something like not similar to this, but I covered something that like sexual allegations type stuff with Destiny, and right after the Destiny door was kicked open, just endless women started pouring through.
than the last. One of the most—
Which, of course, not all of them are going to be, like, here's the thing. I'm not going to say that every one of these people weren't a victim, but I'm not going to say that all of them were victims at the same time, right? You know what I mean? So I can't tell you that everybody that came forward was telling the truth. That's something that I think needs to always be prefaced a little bit, because, like, with the cases like this shit, there's always going to be, like, some people that are clout chasing. That's just the way it is.
Notable among these victims was a girl named Shiloh, who endured even more torture than Sarah. Shiloh was a Canadian pop star who at one point went double platinum for a song Operator, and just like most other fans, Shiloh learned about Onision after coming across his Banana song video. From there, she binged all of his content and became a mega fan, before contacting him via email. After learning about Shiloh's status as a celebrity, Onision replied to her, and the two started talking on Skype daily for up to 10 hours a day.
For about 8 or 9 months. It was between like January and December of 2011. And we
okay, it's either her lighting or she put chrome on the tip of her nose, which is a wild choice.
Ended up talking about like pretty much all day, all of the waking hours.
And on December 27th, 2010, Onision drove out to meet Shiloh, who was only 17 at the time, while he was pushing 25. But before they met, Onision did something that left no doubt about his true nature, and cemented him as a pure PDF file. He chose to meet her in Pennsylvania, because it's lower age of consent.
Before he made his way there, he had explained to me that we could get in a lot of trouble.
Into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he explained to me we could get in a lot of trouble, and then he had to check the state laws before he came.
Because of your age.
Because he knew we were going to sleep together.
And similar to what he did with Sarah, Onision waited for Shiloh's 18th birthday and moved in with her a month later. And just like before, things went south fast. He isolated Shiloh.
Damn, bro, this guy's a straight up goblin, bro. What the fuck? Jesus Christ, dude.
Family while becoming extremely neglectful and hostile. This mistreatment was bad enough to cause Shiloh to have a seizure, and instead of calling an ambulance, Onision thought it was a good idea to film her in a disoriented state and post it online with a clickbait title, Shiloh Forgot Me.
Unfortunately, last night when I was editing today's video, an unfortunate event occurred which involved both Shiloh and I.
You said you want to make a rainbow?
Yeah.
Why aren't you looking at the camera? Do you know what my name is? Shiloh?
Shiloh's condition also spoke volumes on how bad—
Holy fuck, what an absolute, like, cum demon, bro. He's a fucking cum demon, dog. This guy... Bro, I don't know how you could look at, like, these are the problem with these fucking, like, weird clout demons online, that they see, like, something traumatic happening, and they're like, I gotta fucking film it, dude. This is gonna make such great content. And this is why I will never do, like, the vlog style videos, because, like, I've had this conversation with people before. They're like, well, why don't you do, like, family content, or something? Because, instead of being an edgy boy. And I'm like, well, you know, I don't want to spend time with my family where I'm thinking about how that shit would be good fucking content, because I think that's disgusting. I think that's disgusting. I mean, it's different, like, when, like, my baby's crawling across the ground, and she, like, wants me to pick her up, and I pick her up, and she's on stream for a second. That's completely different than, I want to, like, capitalize on all the big moments with me and my child for content. That's fucking gross, dude. I fucking hate people like that. And I know that's, family content's different than this, but at the same time, it's not. Like, could you imagine your significant other that you're living with going through something like this, having a fucking breakdown like this, and you're like, hold on, guys, let me just pull my camera out of my asshole so that I can make some really good YouTube views. Can you imagine how hard the ad revenue is gonna go? This is gonna be crazy, guys.
Onision treated her, and one YouTube comment summed it up perfectly. I don't know if this is true or not, but it's interesting that even with years of her memory being wiped for that moment, her brain still immediately perceived Onision as a threat. I've never seen someone automatically assume someone had kidnapped them, unless, of course, Onision acted in such a way that made her think that. Even in that state, she was so traumatized her brain still knew that Onision was a threat. It's heartbreaking. A while later, when Shiloh tried to call her mother after a fight, Onision called the cops on her, claiming claiming that she was threatening to end her life. This led to her getting admitted to a mental facility, which gave her the opportunity to call her mother and go home, finally escaping Onision's evil grip on her life. But even then, Onision did
Jesus Christ, this guy's fucking the absolute worst. He's an absolute psychopath, bro.
Everything in his power to discredit Shiloh and cast himself as the victim. However, statements from one of his previous partners not only confirmed Shiloh's claims, but also revealed that Onision had been this way from the very beginning. This previous partner was his first wife, Sky, who often appeared in his videos and was even part of the viral Banana song.
Sky! What, Greg? I'm a banana! You're a what?
However, behind the scenes, Onision was extremely toxic and abusive, resulting in Sky developing extreme depression and even PTSD. Even after their divorce, Onision refused to pay her alimony and equated having to pay alimony to literal slavery. When his attempts to legally dodge the payments failed, he threatened to begging Sky to stop taking the money. He claimed that
Bro's still making content, bro. He's still on the platform, just steady making content after all of this shit. Now, I'm usually pretty big against deplatformization, right? But like when you break actual laws, I don't know. I feel like it's a different realm, bro. But yeah, like a lot of these, you hear about people like Leafy getting kicked off the platform, right? And again, Leafy was edgy. Leafy was a douchebag. But did he deserve to get kicked off? Not really. But and then there was Onision rating his underage fans and then making fun of his underage fans, very similar to Leafy, and he's still around, bro. Look at this, dude, 90,000 views. That's 5 years ago. No, this is like, I mean, a month ago he uploaded. I mean, he got 17,000 views, but he's still making videos, bro. I mean, it looks like he like deleted a lot of his shit because there's no way that he was on a 5-year break. But framed, vindicated, Jesus Christ. Abused, framed, and vindicated? What is this, dude? What? Oh my god, dude. Bro's like coping and shit. Jesus. I don't know all of his channels, bro, because like I don't really know. I know he has a bunch of different channels. I'm not gonna look at all of them, but yeah, he's still posting. Like a month ago is not that long ago, so that's fucking crazy, bro. That's actually insane.
Guy didn't deserve any alimony because he built his career on his own, completely ignoring the fact that she was a practicing nurse and he made her quit her job to help with video production. And to top it all off, near the end of their relationship, he was even cheating on Sky with Shiloh. Thankfully, Sarah's confession in 2019 gave Onision's victims the courage to come forward.
Bro, this is fucking wild. This is actually one of the most wild things I've come across. Like, again, I didn't know anything. So when I said I didn't know who Onision was, I didn't from like the name, but I had seen the banana video. I mean, everybody had seen the fucking banana video. It's like you would have to be living under a rock, like getting banged in the asshole by crabs in order to have never seen that video. So like, come on.
Being held accountable for his years of abusive behavior. Soon after Sarah's allegations came out, the case got the attention of one of the internet's most well-known predator catchers, Chris Hansen. Chris immediately began collecting evidence and interviewing Onision's victims one by one.
He had a bad crash out too sometime after this. I can't remember all the things that went down, but yeah, he had a fucking huge crash out.
At one point, Chris even showed up at Onision's house hoping to confront him in person. However, Onision knew that an interview with Chris would be a death sentence. He would tear him apart with the statements and evidence he'd gathered. So instead of taking Chris up on his offer and making an attempt to prove his innocence, Onision did what he always does. He called the cops on Chris, labeling him as an online stalker.
911, what are you reporting?
Hi, there's a person who's been stalking me online and they just showed up to my house.
He tried to frame Chris's visit as harassment, even though all Chris did was knock on the door and request an interview. And while he managed to dodge a clash with Hansen, plenty of well-deserved retribution was still headed his way. That's because once word of his actions reached the mainstream, the social platforms that had fueled his career began to view him as a liability. They didn't want anything to do with Onision. And after he accidentally doxed one of his ex-girlfriends while trying to share old messages, Patreon jumped on the opportunity and banned his account. Not long after,
damn, bro. He got just fucking schmiggle-biggled all the way to ban zone on Patreon.
Twitch followed suit, and later in January of 2021, YouTube finally demonetized all of his channels, cutting off his main source of income. He finally got what he deserved.
So here's the thing with YouTube. I kind of understand why they didn't ban him, but at the same time, I can't say that selfishly anybody who messes with kids shouldn't get banned, you know? Like, but at the same time, like, all of the evidence that we've been brought forward so far, well, I guess the Pennsylvania thing does make him kind of the most disgusting, but he didn't break a law, so it's not like he's been caught breaking the law. So I can understand why YouTube didn't actually, no, I can't, because they fucking kicked Leafy off for literally fucking nothing. They literally just yeeted Leafy out for absolutely nothing, but Onision's just chilling, so I don't know. It feels like YouTube handles their rules and shit fucking weird. I'm a big free speech guy. I've always been a big free speech guy. I think that by deplatforming, like, a lot of people, or most people that they deplatform, they're just kind of making them martyrs and making them look like the victim. And then these motherfuckers, like, prey off of that, right? They prey off of the fact that they are now a victim status, and then their fans get more zealotized, and it just never does any good. But when it comes to people that are actual, like, threats to children and are utilizing their fame to, like, pull kids into the void, I feel like that's a different thing, dude. I feel like you're enabling an offender, right? So I don't know. It's a tough one, because, like, I think he should be banned, because I feel like he utilizes his platform in order to groom minors, and allegedly, if we're going on, well, I mean, he literally has, like, the best case of grooming people ever. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I think he deserved to get banned.
But that raises an important question. Why did it take so long for the internet to turn against him? From his deeply problematic content to his openly weird relationships with minors, the clues hinting towards his darker secrets were right in front of everyone. In a world where massive YouTubers can get cancelled for so much less, how did Onision manage to survive for so long? Well, the answer to that lies in Onision's somewhat unique way of handling criticism. As I briefly mentioned earlier, every time he received some backlash for any reason, he refused to take accountability. In his eyes, everyone who spoke out against him was nothing more than a hater, and to a large portion of his young, impressionable audience, his ability to brush off backlash seemed like a show of strength, something to be admired. But that was only the tip of the iceberg, because Onision was also a master at manipulating his audience. For starters, he would often throw exaggerated, almost cartoonish tantrums that made it difficult to figure out if he was genuinely upset or just mocking his critics.
We're gonna disable his Patreon! Wow! Wow, you would really do that! You would really do that!
On top of that, he also tried to stay ahead.
Yeah, I don't understand where people like get like into these people who do like these faux meltdown things. It's just cringy to me, bro. It always was cringy. It just makes the person look so fucking unhinged. Yeah, you see this shit like with apology videos, and all of them are just so all these fuckers are so fake.
Of major controversy.
Like, I'm just like, this is a platform, like, and this is something that I saw during the like iDubbbz content cop thing, right? It was like he kept on saying things about how like he might lose subs, and you need to like you can't have a button because you need to like pre-think out every single one of your possible phrases you might come up with. And it's like, dude, that's so fucking fake. So being a genuine person isn't okay to be online anymore because you might be edgy every once in a while? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, and that's like the mindset of like most big YouTubers, is they're like, how can I like manipulate this to make this look best for me, right? How can I do this to get my fan base to fucking rally up for me and shit? And I just think it's weird, dude.
To stay ahead of major controversies to portray himself as the victim. For example, he made a video about the dangers of fake screenshots, clearly planning to use that excuse later when evidence surfaced of his behavior.
About the most important thing that is ruining people's lives right now: fake texts. Fake screenshot texts make up 99% of all text. That's a fake fact, and that goes to show you how fake.
This all resulted in him having an almost cult-like following, where any backlash against him would get snuffed out by fans before it could even reach him.
And this is another parallel that this is like this parasocial thing that drives me fucking nuts. Like, I hope my audience, like, when I start getting bigger, I hope my audience, like, makes fun of me and I fucking like clash with them all the time, because I don't want them out there like fucking I don't know, just attacking anybody who makes fun of me, bro. I think it's dumb, dude. I think it's like, oh, well, somebody has a criticism of me, so everybody's gonna jump in just because they see the fucking thumbnail and just, like, roast that person. I don't fucking like that. And it's because these guys create, like, a zealot cult-like behavior inside their audiences. This is, like, the same shit Hassan Piker does to his audience, and I think it's fucking, I mean, it's basically taking incredibly impressionable people and then reaffirming their opinions back to them, and then when they start to have questions, you then double down that they're the enemy, right? And once you highlight the fact that they're the enemy, then you create this crusade inside of your cult-like audience. And it's a vicious cycle to where any criticism that's levied toward you can push to be a part of a bigger issue. And it's just disgusting, dude. It's some real fucking cum demon behavior. And I think that anybody that goes tries to push for that, like a parasocial fucking like goon fest, is just stupid.
One fan tweet which reads, "If y'all want to hate me for liking Onision, first of all, I couldn't care less about what your opinion of him is. My opinion is that he's just another human being, and he deserves to be treated like one instead of being treated like he's a horrible person." And when none of that worked, Onision turned to using an old trick used by failing YouTubers, copyright striking any video that dared to criticize him.
Well, holy shit, ladies and gentlemen, this was unexpected. We have ourselves a copyright strike. I have the email notification here. Hi, Crasher Talks and More. Due to a copyright takedown notice that we received, we had to take down your video from YouTube. Video title, Patreon ban meltdown featuring Onision vocoded to the original Pokemon theme. Takedown issued by Onision.
The good news is that all of these tactics have since failed completely,
How's it
leaving
going,
Onision
everyone?
with
Yes,
zero
but
support
we're here,
from any
aka
direction. Which brings us to the present time, and his desperate attempts to make a comeback. For some context, after getting it—
Cause this guy was like got put inside of this video, and dude's been making videos forever, but he kind of has petered off at around, well, what is he at right now? 6,000 subs, this Crasher Talks guy, which sucks because I feel like he could have capitalized on this, and I definitely see what his problem is. Here's something I'm going to teach you guys for YouTube, if you ever want to get into YouTube. This old style of thumbnail that worked back in like 2013, 2015, 2016 only works if you're already established, like if you're Charlie White or some shit. But all this other shit, you could tell it's not really, this guy's kind of become stagnant. Because, I mean, if you probably look at the most popular, it's probably, ooh. So he had some, like, big stuff back in the day, about 5 years ago. But you can tell that those are way better thumbnails, dude. Way better thumbnails here. But, like, it looks like he's just kind of let his channel, like, slowly go into the toilet, which is unfortunate for this fucking Crasher Talks. I was just curious about his channel. Not like this is a hate or makes his posts about Onision any less relevant. It's just it just sucks for me as a small YouTuber who's like always grinding, always trying to figure out new ways to get impressions, new ways to grow. And then I see somebody who like gets that huge bite of success and then they don't capitalize on it. It's like, to me, it's such a missed opportunity.
Exposed in 2019, Onision has lost 99.99% of his audience. His videos once cleared 1 million views with ease, but now are barely crawling past 1,000. Ever since November of 2024, he's also filled his YouTube channel with AI-generated slop that ranges from weird to downright disturbing. But perhaps his most pathetic move was trying to stage a comeback on TikTok. He probably thought he could start fresh on a new platform.
Hey, Onision! Hi! Nobody likes you. Okay. Hey.
Bro's living in like a fucking shed in the woods, bro. There's like no, it was just wood and then insulation.
Onision, no one likes you. No one likes
But what he failed to realize is that even if he could somehow escape his rotten reputation, no one on that platform has any interest in his outdated style of content, with comments under his TikToks reading, "Just put my fries in the bag, bro," and "Almost 30, isn't he like 45 or something?" It's obvious he's trying anything he can think of to make money, all to cover the legal fees from the numerous lawsuits that have piled up against him. But is there any hope for Onision at this point? No, not really. Seeing how his attempted comeback on TikTok has failed already, it will only get worse for him. From what I've seen, even if he manages to avoid jail time, he's likely going to be heading down the same path as EDP445, where people on the internet would track him down to ruin his life no matter where he goes.
You combed through every... Well, I'm like looking up Onision on TikTok real quick to see his Onision official. That's not it. It looks like he's already deleted his at Onision. Let's check this here. Onision. So it looks like he's deleted his channel on TikTok already, which shows that that was a fucking huge failure. Bro cooked himself at like a monstrosity level. So it looks like he's just completely just fucking falling going out the way of the dodo bird. So he is just completely cooked. But like, it's just crazy to me how this dude's still making content and pretending. Like, you can obviously see that he's having trouble even keeping any sort of relevancy whatsoever, considering his channel's at like, his last video hit 17,000 views, which I mean is impressive for somebody like me, who a good video, like an incredible video for me is like 2,000 views, right? That's incredible for me. But you look at somebody like Onision, who's somebody who used to hit millions, and it's rightfully deserved. I mean, and this is kind of where I was talking about, like, the should he abandon, how it's a hard yes or no answer for me, because like he hasn't done anything illegal on the platform, and he hasn't been like actually like prosecuted or done anything like prosecuted for anything illegal off the platform yet. So it puts me in that weird position of should he or should he not be deplatformed. And again, I think it falls back to where I think that actually him not getting deplatformed is fun, or is better now, because you can see that he has just fucking fallen into obscurity, and that's better than him getting like kicked off of everything and then going and talking about how he's this victim and how they attacked him unfairly, and now he has to go to fucking Schmiggelbiggelborg live or something, and then he has this certain group of fans that are so zealous toward him that won't believe any of the bullshit, that are just still there willing to give him as much money as possible, because he's a victim now. He is actually a victim now in a certain perspective. And that's why I've always been against deplatforming, because I think that it unless they like actually actually are getting prosecuted for like crimes, right? If they actually like fully caught, like EDB 445, and I think Onision still rides the line of that, because like there is a lot of evidence against him here. So so it's one of those things that it's like, I don't know. I can't like put my foot firm down, but I do think it is a great example of how, like, take for example if like Nick Fuentes was still on the platform, right? I don't think Nick Fuentes would have a massive audience, to be honest with you. I think that he would get made fun of and bullied into oblivion, and his channel would be sitting around like every video getting like 5,000 to 10,000 views, right? He wouldn't be this massive fucking voice in the ecosystem. I mean, even like, I think even Candace Owens is starting to fall the way of the dodo bird, and because she just gets made fun of into oblivion because she's a fucking idiot. Candace Owens, let's check out her channel, bro. Let's see Candace Owens' channel. Well, I guess I was wrong. Candace Owens is doing very well. Dude, she is fucking retarded, though. She should not be doing that well. I don't think she should be deplatformed again, because that will just make, especially with the views she's getting now. I mean, she's hovering around millions of views. Like, she is getting a lot of traction. This chick is actually crazy, though. She is actually insane. I'm sorry. She literally thinks that, like, the Jews created space, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. She is, like, an absolute, like, troglodyte. So, I definitely think that, she doesn't, like, she will eventually say something so stupid that will get her made fun of by everybody left and right, and her channel will kind of like fucking like fall into obscurity. I do think that's true. She'll probably retain a portion of the audience, but she won't be as relevant as she is now. Like she said some dumb shit now, but it's just a moment until she says some like absolutely like insanely retarded shit that even like some of the other big heads on like her same side will be like, God, this chick is insane. And then those people will like the people that are like fans of both will be like, wow, you know, he's making some points, and they'll stop watching the shit. And that's just kind of like what usually happens in a free market of ideas. But you might think I'm completely wrong. That's just always been my position. I think that like, unless you're an absolute monster, you should get deplatformed. But that was the satisfying downfall of Onision. I feel like we learned a lot about this little cum goblin, and he sucks. He's gross. He's absolutely vile, and that's all I got for that one, guys. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.